Hello, friends. This is Ruby Singh with the Real Estate New School. Hey, as you know, we've been covering that how to sell your property, your own property, or your rental property, or your investment property. Either if you want to rent it out, or if you want to just plain flip the property, or you just want to sell it property, or you want to if you want to rent it out, and what are the things you should consider in order to get your investment for the most money, right? So we covered all those points, and if you didn't get a chance to view the previous videos, please go back and watch those videos. That will explain everything and how we are continuing, all those points, correct? And we've been covering, the appliances, the deep cleaning, all of those, what upgrades you need to do, right? All of those things. So um, let's talk today about updating your hardware also. Make sure that take a nice look for your like bathroom, your kitchen hardware, sorry. And then you will likely to notice if it looks well used. Put yourself in your buyer's shoes, correct? So they are also looking at your, they're looking at your old house, right? And they're for them it might be a potential new home, correct? So you don't want to sell the property for a new buyer, right? um, if it's something is damaged and you know that, if you do know that, please fix it if it's broken, right? And we've been covering that all along, guys, that in life, integrity, honesty, it plays a big role. Okay. um, there, as we know that there are bad people, there are good people, but why don't be the part of the good people crowd instead of bad people, correct? We've been covering all that, right? So if the your hardware is old, um, and it's worn out, or fixtures aren't good, you know make sure that they are working, you know um, and it doesn't mean you have to run and go buy a brand new shiny up up you know top of the fixture, right? So you have to make sure these handles, these pulls, the hinges, they are not broken and they are workable condition, and there's no real reason, if they are in working condition, that you have to replace them, right? So get that new look simply by thoroughly um, repairing, cleaning, if it need to be washing, spray paint, or whatever the reason, so um, that could be, you know, cheaper option for you, but make sure everything is in workable condition. So some items of household hardware that can be overlooked, but make sure that you if you like you can make them look new and looks nice, when new potential buyer who is planning to buy your house, like a towel bar, right? Like a toilet paper holder, or a door handle, or a old fixtures, correct? So the goal is to like patch up your property nicely with little cash as possible, but in workable condition. And great way to do it, to make sure it's clean, it's in workable condition, or if it need to be paint, little paint. So like if unfortunately if you do have a broken or completely worn out hardware, you will, as I said, make sure, guys, please go and fix it and replace it, and the whole set, unless you can find the magic piece, just complete the whole set, right? So other options are, or if they are like they are really old and bad looking, you can paint it too. Those knobs, you can paint it. You could also combine the good part in one bathroom or replace it, the hardware, all all the other ones, right? So like if you're replacing, another thing you have to keep in mind, guys, that's a very important point, is that if you end up replacing your knobs on your um, cabinets, make sure that get the matching, exposed hinges for your cabinet doors, right? Like consistency is a good thing when selling your house, correct? So the most important room to stage is, or um, that you have to keep in mind is like living room, right? Kitchen, master bedroom, your bathroom, your dining room, right? Your children bedroom, your guest bedroom, right? So kitchen and bath, focus on these high impact areas. Your potential buyers might forgive less than if it's a children room are not that as up to date, but a questionable kitchen or bathroom could cost you a sale. So buyer are most turned off, if it's a grungy kitchen or the bathroom. So nobody, they want to, don't feel it's not gonna be a best for your sale of your property. So you it doesn't have to be stunning at top of the bathroom or kitchen, right? um, but just make sure that you address the bathroom and kitchen first, because that's what mostly people look for. So if it's the toilet is not like very old and worn out, buy the new toilet seat or refurbish worn looking, cabinets by painting them, or replace an old ugly bathroom sink with new vanity or pedestal sink, correct? So repair any grouts, any um, tidal backsplash floors or tub surrounds, right? So another thing, like we've been talking about staging furniture, some flippers who are ready to flip the property, they have a warehouse of furnitures that they use for the staging, right? But it's like warehouse, they can take a lot of time, money and energy. um, One alternative is like, you can rent it out, that furniture for the staging, right? So but sometimes we feel that, okay, Miss Ruby, that sounds good, but where do we get all this for the staging? Well, guys, there's a furniture rental companies that you can use. You know, we often don't hear those kind of companies unless we are looking for them, right? These companies normally, they provide the furniture, they provide the truck, they provide the people, to take it to the destination, right? And the only downside is that, normally it require like 3 month minimum rental period, right? Of course, if you happen to sell your home sooner, you're not out any extra money for returning the your furniture early, right? So another is antique shops, correct? So if you have any of these in your area, you might consider asking, rent a larger piece of furniture. while you won't always be successful at this, because those antique shops, they're not just gonna rent it out, right? But you another thing you have to keep in mind that it has to fit for your needs, right? So it doesn't hurt to ask those antique shops also, right? So another thing, if you don't want to rent the furniture for staging, like sometime people um use just show furnitures that they can, you know what you call that, dress it up, correct? And um, and that it doesn't make necessarily like seeing a big difference by people, but in fact the furniture is actually durable enough to set upon. It makes surprise, it's a good stand condition, correct? So furniture option like you choose, make sure that it is indeed the best for your particular situation. It will bring the best, the greater return of investment by either helping sell the house more quickly, right? Or for the higher price what you're looking for, right? And then fresh air, guys, that makes a huge difference also. Like there are people who love to, they love to keep their windows open for fresh air every morning, let the breeze come in or rush through, correct? So if you never allow a fresh air blow into your home, it most likely, like, it can develop like unappealing odor. You make sure that you open the windows and doors to have that fresh air come into your house. So in some time, as I said, that hiring people to do the work, what it need to be done, that's another option, because it's sometime for the flippers, who are flipping the properties, it's time is the most common concern among them, right? To conserve as much time for yourself as possible. You want to delegate as many tasks as you can, that you'll be free to focus on the important aspects of your business as a flipper, right? Home stager, they can help you. They can come and stage the property um, to increase its sellability. Staging professional, they create a theme in each room and complement, the layouts of by bringing in the theme throughout the house. And it you know gives you actually tips to, sometimes they give you tips to use, when showing the house, like fresh flowers, or buy scented candles when you're selling the house, right? So you have to keep these things in mind, that you can always staging expert who can help you with this. And they also have a people like manpower needed to do the heavy lifting of moving the furniture throughout the house, or if any damage happen in the process, right? So it's the stagers, they cover the cost of repair, correct? And if you're doing the staging, the home, decorating the home, empty house, when you're ready to sell or flip or rent, you doing the decorating yourself, right? Yes, it could not only save you money, but it could also allow you to do more of your own personality, your own theme, to when you are decorating the house, if you are really good with that decoration and stuff. So, but again, we have to remember that, guys, that not don't bring, please, you're too much of your own personality. You have to remember you are not buying that house, right? It's you have to keep in mind the new buyer who's coming to buy the house. So you have to keep them in mind also, right? But because you don't want to, by bringing it too much of that, you don't want to turn the buyers off. So if your goal is to gain the highest return on your investment when your property sells, if you believe you can achieve that, this by staging on your own, then go for it, right? And otherwise, just you have to spend money, correct? So what, let me say, what you can expect when you hiring um, a professional stager, right? Who can, um, because they can also make mistake, right? They uh, you have to ask around instead of finding a random names online. Find your fellow people who you work with or people you know, if they know any good stager, or if your friends or someone who can refer them, those good stagers to you, and interview several professional stagers, right? Choose one you believe, correct? So, and you have to think also that if the price tag is too low, it's probably the quality of the service that is offered, if it's gonna match the price, correct? If your stager is well known, expert in the field, your price tag will definitely be considerably, sometime higher. And someone running they, or if they are just running a summer gig. So be consider, you know these points in mind, that what it take a good look and be sure, actually, like how you set the things up, or if you can get any information how well those houses sold, the houses those stagers staged, correct? So stagers, they also ask many questions, right? Like a good stage doctor, a good stager is a pro who will want as much as information from you about your need, right? For your part, you need to ask any question you can think of during the initial consultation, right? To ensure that this is the stager for you. Ask question about how they work out their rates, how long they will take, or how, what can you do on your end to keep the cost down. Ask them, you know, and how many homes they stage, or whether they expect anything from you during that process from you. Okay. And remember, they are the professionals, right? That they are not the bankers. They, however, if you do need enough, you need to understand um, that their job is to, increase home sellability, right? So job is to make sure that, that home is appealing as possible, and your potential buyer, so they won't, talk to you about negotiating the price with you. Okay. And also, like, another thing is, guys, that you have to keep in mind that if once the staging is done, make sure to get in and dust it, regularly, because real staging pros should make you feel confident about the quality of their work. And if you have any like negative internal reaction during your initial consultation, run in, you know then, as I we've been talking about that your guts will remind you, your guts will speak to you, but it is sometime we brush it off, right? So if you think that the thing's not gonna go as smooth with this stager, then go. It's You can find someone else, because first you are paying for it and you need to sell the house soon, correct? um and you need to, and suppose, like, another tip I can give it to you, that if you choose to stage yourself, um, you can also search online the staging projects, correct? Um, and then you can brighten up the with the paint all the rooms, right? Um, you can repaint the rooms according to their purpose, just the like off white, something like that, but not too dark colors that turn off the buyers, right? um, so whatever you do, make the home welcome throughout, with all the appropriate colors. Okay, correct. Make sure the windows, the sofas, all the updating window covering, they complement paint color, recovering the purchasing of new, your pillows, or your upgrade the window covers, correct, whatever it need, or your bathroom collection, or towel or bath mat, bring it to life. Consider strategically that you are adding a fresh paint, or fresh flowers plants, sorry, or fresh flowers, in different rooms throughout your home. um, that could also be very, very good point for the buyer, because of the fresh plants and the fresh smell of the flowers, right? So it doesn't mean that you have to add a floor plant in every corner, or a vase of flowers in every surface, right? So be careful to avoid, sometime also you have to consider in mind that those flowers are not heavy pollen, you know like what could pollen is, like, I think it would be lilies, they have that. That could, some people have allergy to pollen, they are, for like lilies flowers, because that could also be a not no, right, to bring it into your house when the buyers are walking through. So um, another thing you can do is, lightly you can add little scented candle, which is, the scent is not too strong, while showing the home, but it create the like calmer atmosphere, right? So be careful to avoid, another thing, heavy scent in your house. It encourage sometimes people who have uh, sensitive nose, they or sneezing or allergies, correct? It can create like headaches, so be careful of those scented, you know scents. Vanilla is good, pine is good, citrus is good, cinnamon is good, right? So you can include these light scented, but not, make sure that it's not where, where buyers are walking through, or um, scent is too strong in that area. So keep it light scent. Okay. Another thing you can put is music, right? Um, take like music of your choice, right? And like classic music, or uh, it's according to sophistication of your home that you have to. It's sometimes, the music, it releases extra endorphins, within our body, correct? And of it, sometime your potential buyers, um, it's providing them the sense of, you know wealth and stroll throughout the beautifully arranged home, correct? So these things you have to keep in mind. Another point is um, curb appeal, right? um, Curb appeal is very important of your front yard, your backyard, side yard, right? Like, some imagine driving up to a house for first time and the paint is peeling, or there are dead shrubs in the yard, or the flowers are literally dying on the vines. So that is no, right? So just think of, make sure that the freshly shrubs are trimmed, um, or you know what do you call that, the paint is, make sure it's all painted, if it need to be, uh, and then some blast of color, nice colors around the house. So my point is, when it comes to your potential buyer, or when you are flipping the house, outside of your house is more important sometimes than inside, because the outside, that create the first impression of when buyer is looking for the house, which is color, buyers see everything. So if the house has a curb appeal, sometime buyers walk in and they are impressed, looking to further buy interior decoration also. If the yard is, not in good condition, sometime it does turn them off out there. So you don't have to spend like so much money, thousands and thousands of dollars, on a brand new landscaping, but make sure you have a good um, added curb appeal, right? Um, and the yard is clean, and pick up a like all trash. If there is like any grass you had freshly cut, make sure it's all picked it up. Make sure you're paying special attention, to the any foundation of any plants, correct? Any deadly leaves or deadheads, they you, any plants or shrubs, or throw those away. Any plants that didn't survive, or winter, or anything like that. Okay, make sure you prune the trees. Make sure the value of your property, the trees are not overgrown, and it's a eyesore. It becomes an eyesore. So plus thick foliage can prevent sun, from reaching the grass in the yard. So it create ugly, bald, brown spots in the yard. So before you put your property on the market, hire someone professional to, make it look nice, to cut the trees and shrubs pretty, take out the uh, uh, all clearly, dead, and safety precautions of the curb appeal strategy, correct? Um, make sure the mailbox, right? Make mailbox is in good condition. Like you can buy the mailbox from the store, right? Your house number, that is like in good condition, and uh, it's, people can see the house number. Make your exterior looks nice. Maintain the, like, pathway or driveway or any retaining wall, statutory or power washing, right? Those are the easy way to remove, like, years of any dirt or moss or any mold, right? So these flagstone cleans up, it really, little scrubbing or consider sealing it after washing, to give it extra shine. So, like bird bath fountains, they are clean and bubbly, correct? So also your lawn, make sure it's a lawn is green up, correct? um, and then your what do you call that, if you plan to put your house on the market in spring, you know plant of flowers or bulbs or daffodils like that. If you try to sell it in summer, you know then also put the plants according to those warm months, right? So these are the things you have to keep in mind, like if it is like grass, also grass, you know you can plant that in spring. It will maintain, its foliage and colorful stem in the winter season, correct? And it can add your color up during the those months. So these are the things you have to keep in mind when you're trying to flip or renting out the property for your max money. And these are the basic methods that will attract the right buyer. If you're ready to flip the property, you're ready to sell the property, or if you just want to rent the property, right? So to bring out the profit. So these are the things I found that they help, when you're ready to sell your house for the most money, right? So focus on the details where there's a realms, there's you know keep keep your business. If you're a flipper, keep your business thriving, and then people will know you, right? That you have good homes, that you are selling or flipping those homes. Okay, so these things are very important to keep in mind when you're ready to sell. Another thing is, if you're a flipper or investor, right? Sometime you would think, okay, why you can't afford to be invest alone, correct? Um, I strongly, actually, I mean, being in real estate for years, for such a long time, that I strongly urge that when you are starting new, bring aboard, your team, you know, um, a reliable expert on your side who can make your business more efficient, less stressful, and it's more profitable than you by yourself doing everything. Of course, there are some aspect of of a flipper's job. These jobs you might be able to do it yourself also, correct? But it's important to look at the big picture, guys. Okay, especially if you're doing these tasks. Do you have the time? Do you have the energy to do everything else as well, correct? So if you are not an expert, you are, it will take, of course, a lot longer to do all those things because you don't know, correct? But the people who are expert, they already been doing that for years. They have so much experience under their belt, and they, any mistakes, if you're doing it yourself, of course it's going to take longer. And then these mistakes can be very costly also, right? So, and sometimes it can even open a legal issues too, correct? So if you're not personally familiar with these professionals, you can ask for referrals, right? So these are the things you have to keep in mind, you know. Um, you like if you say, how about that, also like a hard money lender, let's talk about that too. We've been talking about all the other professionals that you will need in part of your team, but hard money lenders are especially, they are also very critical to your team, because when you find the property, guys, as a new investor for which the banks won't offer financing to you, okay? Because just keep in mind that these hard money lenders, they tend to, yes, they will tend to charge more in the interest and in the points, right? um, and the loan need to be paid off more quickly than loan if it's administered by your bank, correct? So it's, that's why, working with your lender is very important. You might find yourself, sending your, end buyer to them, and then if you're doing like a wholesale situation, lenders, they may send you the buyer also, okay? So in, if you like getting most of your financing through hard money lenders, having a knowledgeable mortgage broker to turn to, and they can help you, they can be very helpful. And again, wholesalers who are looking for a smooth sale, right? We covered that in the, when we was covering wholesale section. And if you haven't watched that, please go back and you can watch that. In and there's a, I have a all different sections of playlist. There's a sellers, buyers, investors, flippers, wholesale sailors, so go watch, go back and watch those, okay? That will definitely help you. So these wholesalers, when they are looking for a smooth sale, buyers can be referred to a mortgage broker. Make sure that you're working with someone who is expert in these kind of investment deals, okay? Because not every lender work with investors or hard money lenders, okay? So these things you have to be very familiarize yourself. There are different, many different kind of loans, correct? There are, like also another thing you have to keep in mind, the contractors, they also help you, fixing up the properties. A good contractor who is in your team, right? If you're looking to flip or if you're looking to rent, right? If you are a wholesaler, you can also benefit from knowing a good contractor, because that will come very handy when you trying to wholesale properties, so many properties, and you will need a good contractor with you. And your potential buyer might need one, right? And if you connect them with your buyer, it might feel better, because the work that need to be done, get done, it make it's more quickly, more efficiently, right? Another thing is your insurance agent. That is also absolutely must, because when sometime you understand your investment business, because your policies, insurance aren't the same as the what homeowners get, right? It's quite like homeowner insurance policy we are talking about, okay? So it's quite possible that properties you buy, it could have a significant issue, right? You want to make sure you are covered as best as you can, right? So a good insurance agent, property insurance agent, can definitely help you get a good, insurance, uh, property insurance policy. Okay. You also need a title agent, guys. That's like a closing attorney, which will depend in it's in your state. But be sure that you research, right? Professional who can understand your business, that you are a wholesaler, that you must have a knowledge about the different type of closings, correct, and financing, and you fully understand how each of your transaction is structured, correct, and this way they are able to guide you and support you throughout the entire process. Okay, so these are, you know, having a title person on your side is also very important because they can check also there thoroughly if there's any liens on the property, if there are any judgments on the property, right, or if there's any issues during this process. So like if your state doesn't require you to use the attorney, correct, um, have I would definitely recommend, as a if you're a flipper or if you're a wholesaler or you're an investor, you have a good attorney on your side, right? They can also review the brokerage agreement, they can discuss the tax consequences of your sale or explore and explain issues, that is not contained in standard contracts, right? So if like suppose like if a property it has a hazardous waste, right, and it can, attorney can explain in the closing cost that that can help determine if it's all fair, correct. um, Accountant, right, that's also a good thing for the real estate investors because they will be up to date on all the latest tax laws, and they can make sure that you are able to take advantage of as many as you can, all those tax laws, okay. There's even a possibility that if the money your accountant saves you, it will cover you, what you pay them, and maybe even more. And if you also help you it also help you stay on top of things, which mean less work and less stress for you, right, and it's sometimes worth for you, you know property manager, that's another thing you have to keep in mind, that is very helpful because you got a number of, if you are a new investor, or if you have a number of investment properties, or if you are a wholesaler, or if you are a flipper, you have to keep in mind that or if you have a like even apartment complex, even if it's a large strip mall, correct, the property manager, they can handle all day to day issue that comes up, like collecting the rent and bringing it or screening the potential tenants, right, they can do all that, correct. If you don't know that, we covered that uh, big part of so many in previous videos about the property management, what goes into property management, and it's a whole from A through Z that we covered. So if you didn't get a chance, please go back and watch those property management, um, tenant, landlord, those videos, please, because that will bring out, you know, you will be able to understand a lot more, and it's in thoroughly explained. So these things, you have to keep in mind that these, once you have this kind of, good team, that you guys are all working for the same reason, good partners in your team, you know that work can make life a lot smoother, right? Same thing, everything in life, right? Business partner make a life smoother in your business, your life partner that make a life smoother in your life, right? So same thing in business, in investment, in everything. It's you know good partner, they will definitely help you, you know get on top of the life, correct? So these are the things you have to keep in mind, how you can set the right price once you are ready to sell. Price, setting the right price is very important. That you have to keep in mind that if you set the price too high, you know um, that could discourage the buyers and the offer. And if you chip away the price, um, your listing it languish on the market, and it sometimes it becomes a stale and even less attractive. So you have to make sure that it's a perfect price. Pricing is a home is a part of the research and part of the experience. So you can only set the right price on your home, if sold, you want to sell it quickly, you know and it will, if the price is right, it will go quickly. Okay. And you can check the comparables of your home, right? Comps, we covered that previously. The best way to predict what price your property will fetch is to see, similar properties, similar comparables that were sold in the neighborhood of, where your property is located. So even the house, sometimes they are unique, and so even two houses can have the same square footage, they have the same number of bedrooms, they have the same acreage, they just aren't the same, right? So house might have a, sometimes older trees or more shade than very similar, other houses, correct? So or inside the house, some houses have, you know drop dead gorgeous granite counters on the kitchen, right? And so your challenge is to, you know you have to find the sale of those properties that are nearby as possible, and compare those property to your property. Okay. Your location, right? Location, that also matter. That's usually you can compare the similar, find the sales within half-mile radius of your property, right? um, and then also, but don't go just by distance alone, right? Also consider your house is, if it's closer or farther away from highway, or if it's has a better or worse view, right? Because people, they don't want to live too far, from highway, or sometime, you know they just, are they going to work, or if they going, they just don't want to, cover the whole city first just to get onto highway, correct? They want something closer by, they just can hop on and then go. Or worse, if the you have to um, if the highway is too close, that's not good either, right? So another thing you have to consider is age of the property, right? Like you know if it's even though it the suppose if you're comparing two homes, right, and same square footage, correct, if it's a two bedroom or if it's a condo, don't compare that. You cannot compare condo with the house. So um, or don't compare two bedroom to a you know single bedroom house. So these things you have to check on that. um, Another thing is sales, recent sales, right? The more recent the sale, the more valuable the comparable will be, and setting the price of your home. So sale in the, like, suppose last 6 months are okay. Sale in the last 3 year, you know not that okay, but last 3 months are better, right? Another thing you have to keep in mind is soft feature, right? Um, Trust your gut when you're pricing the home. Some variable like curb appeal, nearby shopping, the community centers, nearby shopping center, or if any strong noises around your neighborhood, that's not good. But or if it's a convenient that your buyer is looking for close by highway, close by shopping centers, right, easy to shop. So when selecting these comparable properties, guys, avoid distressed properties, avoid a foreclosure, short sales, or something bargain properties. Yeah. So sometime, you know these bargain properties, they sell like 5 to 10% discount, you know uh, than your home is worth. So think about market trends, correct? When you look at the comparables, correct, you should also think about, glance how many days these properties stayed on the market before it sells. Or you want your home to sell quickly, not eventually. It's been sitting days on the market. It can indicate it that um, when local market is so hot, right, it will go quickly. So nearby homes are, if uh, disappearing overnight, then you are in a seller market. You could see that homes are selling so fast. It could justify an optimistic price. If houses are taking months to sell, then you are likely, in a buyer's market, and setting a price slightly below your competition, that could give you a big advantage. Okay. Like you can also list these homes online, right? There's free sites like online, Zillow. You can go, you can Craigslist, you can go. These kind of sites, they can give you upper hand, ballpark of, like Zillow. They can show how many, I mean, they cannot sometimes show exact bedroom bathroom, but you know also your realtor, they can also help you with that. You can hire a appraiser, right? If you stumble upon a house that is worth, you know it's you can hire also appraiser for less than sometime $500. An appraiser can view your property, and they can give you full comparables. They can take pictures, they often have opinion of what your home is worth, and they can appraise thoroughly, often, see the things in your home that can add or that can subtract the value of your home. So appraisers comes very handy, when you are ready to sell. They can make a thorough report, sorry, um, to uh, appraise, let you know what is your exact value is worth, or um, what need to subtract or add, to bring the value up, right? Or sometime home inspection, if you want to do a home inspection before to make sure everything is in working condition. So that is also a plus point, you know, when you're ready to sell that property. And sometimes the ultimately, the appraiser, they can weigh in on value of your home, when buyer emerge, or the lenders, they send an appraiser, to make sure the property is worth, right? And of course, the mortgage lenders, they definitely 100% they use the appraiser, but that is the mortgage lenders. They use it when they are trying to give you loan, but when you're trying to sell it, you want to make sure how much is your property worth. um, then it's definitely, a plus point hiring a appraiser. So, um, and then, also real estate, broker, they can also help you with all those things. Of course, they charge and it costs a fee, right? But they can definitely help you too, So hope all this help, guys. Hope all this, points make you know, difference, and hope you learned from this video. And you have any question, most welcome. Um, you can ask me in the comment section, and I try to answer all my comments or questions. And but I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for everything. Thank you for those wonderful comments, questions, liking, subscribing, and I really, really appreciate you guys. You guys take care. Take care of each other and your family. Thank you. Again, this is Ruby Singh with the Real Estate New School, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.